this is Vicki Arsenault, and you're listening to another episode of Facing Your Fears. Hey, thanks for joining me today. So, just off the bat, before I get started talking about today's episode, which is all about learning to have a victorious mindset, I do just want to remind you of a couple things. First of all, we do now have a Facebook page called the Facing Your Fears podcast. So you can go over to Facebook and make sure you like and follow so that you can participate in the second announcement, which is starting July 1st and through July 31st. We're going to have a Proverbs a Day challenge. There are 31 Proverbs, and I think it would just be really cool to read one chapter per day throughout the month of July, so that we can just take in all of the wisdom that God has for us. There's so much in there. You can read it over and over and over, and you always learn something new. So just wanted to throw that out there for you guys. And now we're going to go ahead and get started on today's episode. Okay, so I was thinking about having this victorious mindset, and it came about because this morning I had to take my mom to a doctor's appointment. She was going to show up at my house at about 10:25. So at about maybe 10 o'clock, maybe 5 after, I said, well, I'll leave. I'll go down the street to just get a coffee so that I will have that for our trip, because our trip was going to be about 45 minutes. So I went to Dunk's to go get a coffee and decided that I would just go through the drive-thru because I wasn't sure if the lobby was open. So I get in the drive-thru line. There's maybe only 5 cars ahead. I'm like, okay, this shouldn't take that long. Well, it was taking forever, right? Isn't that dramatic? It was taking forever. Forever's a long time. And so I'm sitting there and I'm watching the clock. It's still not my turn. I'm kind of stuck in this line now. Like the way our Dunkin's is set up is that once you are in the drive-thru, there's no getting out. You're stuck there no matter what until you go through the line. So I'm watching the clock and I'm waiting for my turn. Finally, I order my coffee and then I'm just waiting to get up to the window so I can get my coffee. Well, I mean, the people in front of me must have ordered sandwiches or whatever. I don't know, because it was just taking a while. So I sit there and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is taking forever. Why is this taking so long? I've got to meet my mom. Oh my gosh, she's going to get to my house before I do. Oh no, right? Big tragedy. Okay, so this, my friend, is victim mentality. I experienced it just this morning. And in most areas of my life where I feel like maybe I should have felt more traumatized by things that have happened, those don't seem to bother me as much as these little things. And so I started thinking about this, and I thought I'd share it with you guys because I'm like, you guys probably have been there too, where the person cuts you off or, something happens and you're just so inconvenienced and so annoyed by it. And the funny thing is that Proverbs 11:27 says, if you search for good, you will find favor. If you search for evil, it will find you. What I interpret that to mean is that you're going to find what you are looking for. If you're looking for good, you're going to find good. If you look for bad, you will find bad. And I've probably said that before in this podcast, but because of what happened, I just had to share it because we all fall into this trap sometimes, right? So how about thinking about, number one, just not making every problem such a big deal. Like, we have such a tendency to be super over dramatic about everything, right? You get a hangnail and you're like, oh my gosh, this hangnail, it hurts so bad. My finger is all swollen now and it was bleeding. And I thought, oh my gosh, my finger's going to fall off and blah, 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 right? Or you bump your head on a cabinet door or something. You're like, oh my gosh, I just whacked my head. Man, that hurt so bad. I probably have a concussion or something. Like, man, oh my gosh, feel the lump on my head now, right? We get all whiny and complaining. Oh, it just cracks me up just even saying this because I know I've done this before and I'm sure you've done this before too. Or you stub your toe on something. All kinds of things, right? All kinds of things can set us off, and we just really tend to over exaggerate things. And it's not even that it's completely our fault. Like, it totally is in one way, but in the other hand, when we were talking about Adam and Eve a few episodes ago, we saw the very first thing that happened was blame. Adam was like, it's the woman you gave me. And the woman's like, it's the serpent. And so we just started whining like from the beginning. So I think it's just something that is in our nature, that we just want to be a victim. We want to have self-pity. We want people to feel bad for us and give us attention or whatever. So with that, we constantly are going to have to recognize when we're falling into that mindset and instantly just stop it. Like, stop the mindset. And here's how we can do that. So first of all, like I said, stop making every problem such a big deal. Just recognize it for what it is. It's a hangnail. Come on now. It's not a big deal. It's a hangnail. Everybody gets them. Okay. The second thing is to engage in positive self-talk. So one of the things that I did while I was sitting in line this morning at Dunk's waiting for my coffee, when I finally was the second person up, from my chance to get to the window, I was thinking to myself, okay, how about thinking about the fact that you have a car that you got in this morning and it started up right away. You were able to drive it down the street to Dunkin's, where you can get a coffee that you don't even need to have right now. You just want it because it's a luxury and you're going on a long drive. Also, we have running water. There's people in the world that don't even have running water. They don't have a drive-up Dunks. They don't have anything like that, right? So when you start really thinking about your problems in perspective and you realize that these are so small in comparison to actual big things that are happening in the world, and you start to engage in the self-talk, the saying, I'm grateful, and this leads into my third point, being grateful. I am grateful that I have a car to get in. I'm grateful that I have the ability to bring my mom to her appointments. I am grateful that I have conveniences here that people don't have elsewhere in the world. I am grateful for the fact that I am up and living and breathing today so that I can do something that's going to make a difference in the world, not just wait for somebody in the world to make a difference in my life, right? And so those three things right there, like just not making every problem such a big deal. It is what it is. Engaging in positive self-talk and being grateful are huge in changing this victim mindset. And then the last thing is to stop blaming, right? I don't know what somebody's situation is. I don't know first of all, what the people in front of me ordered today and why they ordered it. Maybe they have somebody who's very sick. They can't get out of the house. Maybe they're bringing it to work. Who knows? I don't know what their things are. And also, I don't know how many people were working this morning at Dunkin's. They probably were slammed and they were just trying to get through one order at a time, which they should do. Also, just so you know, the workers at Dunks are awesome, and all fast food places, because fast food places are stressful and people are really rude sometimes about if their order didn't come out right or, whatever, how much it costs. People are just straight out rude. So, I give praise to all the fast food workers out there everywhere. Totally appreciate you and love you and think that you should be appreciated by your employer because your job is hard. Like, there are jobs all over the place that are hard, but I do appreciate these workers, especially our local Dunks employees, because they're amazing. So anyway, this is what I just wanted to get across today. These two scriptures, Proverbs 12:25, worry weighs a person down, an encouraging word cheers a person up, right? So when you worry about something, you are going to be totally weighed down by this. But an encouraging word cheers a person up. And guess what? Someone doesn't have to say the encouraging word to you. You can say the encouraging word to yourself. You have to remind yourself that you have a great life. Even if your life isn't 100% awesome, you still have a great life. You have health, you have finances, you have stuff, you have whatever. You have Jesus. then you probably have more than so many other people in the world. And even those people who have less than you still can find so much to be grateful for. And the people that have more than you. Everybody has loads of things to be grateful for, right? Stop blaming everything on everyone else. Like, stuff is going to happen in life. People are going to do things to you by mistake, sometimes on purpose, who knows, generally on mistake, but people are going to, just do things. So make sure that you're going to offer people the same grace and mercy you would want them to give to you if they did something, or if you did something that affected their lives. We do have this way of magnifying what happens to us so huge compared to what we do to other people, right? When we do it, it was just an honest mistake. When we cut somebody off, it was just an honest mistake. I didn't mean to. I totally just didn't see it there, whatever. But when someone does that to us, we're like, what a jerk you are. Can't you drive? Actually, don't have that much road rage, but I don't think I have road rage at all. But I do have a little commentary every once in a while. So this is it for today. The second proverb I wanted to tell you was 11:27, just to remind you. If you search for good, you will find favor. If you search for evil, it will find you. So, right, you're going to find exactly what you're looking for. So look for the things that are going to be good and encouraging and promising and hopeful and helpful, because that is going to help you have a very peaceful, victorious life and not live in this space of having a victim mentality. So that is it. That's what I wanted to share with you guys today, mainly because it's just an experience I had this morning. And one thing I just don't like a victim mentality. I can't stand a victim mentality. So I hate it when I find out that I myself am having a victim mentality. So why not just share it with the world, right? Hey. Okay. That is it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoy this podcast, please go and rate it and write a review so that more people can hear it, or share it with your friends. But don't forget to head on over to the Facebook page so that you can like it and get involved in the conversation as we're going through Proverbs through the month of July. All right. Have an amazing week. See you next time.